At some point, your life fell apart. Maybe it was sudden, a call you didn't expect, a relationship that ended, a job that disappeared, a diagnosis, a betrayal. Or maybe it was slow, a quiet unraveling, something that used to feel solid just stopped holding, and now you're in the middle of it. And the question everyone asks in that moment, the question that has no easy answer, is, why is this happening to me? Let me tell you something about that question. A 2023 study published in the Journal of Positive Psychology followed 1 to 100 people through major life crises: job loss, divorce, illness, bereavement. The researchers tracked them not just through the crisis, but for years afterward. The finding was unexpected. The people who came out of their crisis with a greater sense of purpose, deeper relationships, and more clarity about what mattered were not the ones who suffered least. They were the ones who found meaning in the suffering. Not meaning in the sense of everything happens for a reason, but meaning in the sense of this experience is part of my story, and I choose what that part means. The researchers called it post-traumatic growth, and it turns out it is far more common than we think. But here's what actually enables post-traumatic growth, and it's not what you'd expect. It's not resilience. It's not positive thinking. It's not time. It's integration, the willingness to stay in the question long enough to let it change you. The Lubavitcher Rebbe understood something about life falling apart that is almost impossible to grasp from the inside. But that becomes undeniable looking back. He was asked countless times, by survivors of the Holocaust, by people who lost children, by people who lost everything, why God allows suffering. He didn't give easy answers. He said the human mind cannot fully understand the ways of the Creator. But here is what he did say, and this is what changed lives. The more opposition one encounters when doing something positive, the more certain one should be that such a challenging endeavor is connected to their purpose in life. In other words, the hardest moments of your life are often happening precisely at the places that matter most. Not as punishment, not as randomness, but because the things worth building, the person worth becoming, require pressure to form. A diamond is carbon under enormous pressure for an enormous amount of time. Viktor Frankl, who lost his entire family in Auschwitz, wrote something that has lived in people's hearts for decades. Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. What do you choose when your life falls apart? You can choose to see it as evidence that the world is cruel and random. You can choose to see it as punishment. Or, and this is the hardest choice and the most powerful, you can choose to see it as information. Information about who you are, what you're capable of, what actually matters to you, and what the next chapter of your life might be built on. The Talmud says, a person does not understand the words of Torah unless he has stumbled over them. This is not just about spiritual study. It's a description of how human growth actually works. You don't understand what you've never had to fight for. You don't know what you're made of until something tests it. The crack in your life is not a flaw. It's where the light gets in. I'm not telling you this to minimize what you're going through. Suffering is real, loss is real, and the pain you feel when things fall apart is valid and important. But I am telling you this, on the other side of this, if you stay with